I'm Daniella Tilbury, a candidate for the GST. Change is coming, and it is not surprising that many of us are wanting a fresher, more engaging, yet accountable government. We deserve better, and Gibraltar can open up to a world of possibilities under the right political leadership. This would require a government that recognises and brings us together, regardless of background, interests or ambition. Politics should not be what polarises us. I was born just before the 1967 referendum and thus lived through a close frontier. My childhood was spent in El Patio Policía and later Varel Beg, where we had our homes. Both set of grandparents lived in Humphreys, and so I enjoyed many happy days in Alameda Estate. Notions of fairness, power and unity were always at the forefront of conversations in our close-knit community that had a clear sense of being in it together. I was shaped by this environment, and I hold those values very firmly. However, over time I have seen some people and groups in our community have been left behind. I'm a firm believer that diversity lies at the heart of a prosperous future for Gibraltar. I therefore want to be part of a government that changes the way that politics is done and who is involved, displacing money and greed as key determinants of our future. I want a government that preserves Gibraltar's clear sense of identity, that protects the special places that remind us of who we are and where we come from. I want a government that invests in the old town, that does not sell our heritage to the highest bidder. I want to see a government that balances this with positive change, so that we are more future-facing, address inequalities and transition us to a much healthier city. A GST government is committed to developing a 2055 vision for Gibraltar, a bold plan that will celebrate environment, culture and help us live our best lives. Through this process, the people will have the opportunity to develop an overarching framework that will guide the work of the ministries. As a former commissioner to the Gibraltar government, I'm familiar with cross-governmental remits, financial responsibilities and the public service challenges. Over the years, I've liaised with our Gibraltar House in London and overseas offices, and I've promoted Gibraltar internationally and held Commonwealth responsibilities. I'm currently a key advisor to the European Commission and continue to serve as a text negotiator for the UN on the implementation of the Paris Accord. I believe in the importance of strengthening our international relations as we transition to a post-Brexit scenario. My professional trajectory has helped me grasp how numerous challenges and political decisions directly affect people's lives and prospects. I also know how important it is to look at evidence closely if I wish to make fair decisions, rather than rely on personal experience. Many see me as an environmental expert, mainly because I've advised the Gibraltar government in the process of establishing the Ministry for the Environment several decades ago, but also because I held the first World Environment Day in 1991. The younger generation may know me for the Gibraltar Sustainability Awards or the Futures Forward Academy. Improving education has always been at the heart of the work that I do. I'm a qualified educator who taught in schools as well as trained teachers for 7 years. I've helped many local students get into university and facilitated teacher education programs. I also helped establish the governance, strategic direction and commercial viability of the University of Gibraltar. A GST government would resource teachers and support career development opportunities. It would invest in people, not just buildings, as we know that this is what Gibraltar needs and deserves. We would extend accessibility and quality of early childhood education. A Gibraltar government under the GST would cut waste, abuse and corruption in finances, but also regards the appointment of key roles and contracting processes. We would dismantle the culture of fear. We would ensure that there no longer is sewage pumped into our seas, and we would take measures to create a more livable, less polluted, greener city. We would protect Rocher Bay from destructive development. We would create housing opportunities for those who need dignity and better living conditions. We have a small community, and the impact of every decision a government makes is far-reaching. Gibraltar has a very positive future that can be attained if you vote for all 10 GST candidates on the 12th of October.
Let's make the change. Let's make the change. Let's make the change. Our hearts are light. For a bright Gibraltar, our